Just a quick one. For everyone who said that this was mental, I'd just like to tell you that this is how you use your brain when you've got one. Just me walking through the woods. This is just a black and white version of me going towards the Five Arches in Sidcup. Had a few graphics and some music to it. Looks alright, no one noticed. Fun fact, that's the last thing I shot from the documentary. Yeah, so I started the documentary with a cup of coffee. Yeah, just thought it'd set the mood and make sure I didn't have to look at the camera too much. Yeah, the white men can't jump thing. That came later. I shot the scene. I shot quite a few scenes. I'll talk about the other one later. Yeah, and it wasn't until the next morning or so that I actually looked back at the footage that I'd shot. And as soon as I saw that, I knew it had to be played with. The original one actually had one of the characters out of White Men Can't Jump saying Billy Hoyle, but it looks really crap. So that's why I changed it, put the graphic and the James Brown song over it. So the never eat shredded wheat thing, that was basically just to get me on the case to get me to the honey monster. So all the things about wheat and eat and having two letters over it, that just came through brainstorming was as I was doing it. It wasn't sort of planned, which none of it was really. The naughty Emma said wanker, I just couldn't refuse. As soon as I shot it, I woke up the next morning, watched the footage, I was pissing myself, so that's why I kept it in. I'm sure everyone has done naughty Emma said wanker at some point in their life. So yeah, yeah. So as we get to clue two, we come to the hands. I didn't really want to be on camera that much, especially with my face and stuff. So I just thought, oh great, I can turn the camera around and show my hands and some of the things I was doing with like the clocks and the north, south, east, west. But unfortunately, I couldn't film anything. As it didn't matter what I said, I couldn't concentrate. Yeah, and that's when I started drawing the spunking dick, which was supposed to be this big sort of, the clue was to go from start to finish. So you'd see like the beginning of the drawing towards the end. That's why if you look in the documentary, you only see the beginning, and then at the end when I'm talking about it, most of it got cut. Um, and as you can see from this picture here, I've got about 6 days worth of stubble there because I was filming way down the end of the documentary, and I had to go back. Most of Clue 2 has actually been rewritten because I didn't like it, and I was mumbling as well, mumbling and shit. So I ended up changing that. Yeah, this is the second scene, the Carl Pilkington scene. Again, I shot the footage the day before. There was other footage as well that went with it. It was only when I looked back and watched it, I realised how fucking funny it was. So I had to keep it in. And, at that point, while I'm doing re-watches, I'm actually trolling myself. And that's where I ended up putting that in the corner saying, this is the best Carl Pilkington impersonation ever. So yeah, the dark part was just to explain AI and stuff. And you know what? Out of all the people that watched it, no one said a fucking word. AI subsystems coming together as a consortium to have a chat about finding out on the internet who killed Tupac and Biggie. That is the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard. Imagine that, Bing and stuff like that, and GBT coming on and having a chat and then charging me 10 grand to tell me stuff. Ludicrous. But yeah, no one spotted that. Yeah, the whole bingo scene where I'm calling him up for weed and stuff. That was totally scripted. I sat down and wrote the script for that. It took probably about 45 minutes. Again, it's more misdirection and sort of, I hope it got a few laughs. The light part, again, it was more misdirection than anything. It was just to keep you entertained. The actual footage for that was for another documentary. It was called the Interview, which I actually abandoned because I wanted to use the footage for it. Yeah, and just so you know, the weed wasn't real. It was synthetic. It was a stage prop basically. I picked it up in Amsterdam in May when I went to have a smoke there. And where did I get the idea of flipping the picture? So basically, I'm going to come clean. It isn't that intelligent. So at the start of filming, I was using the front camera on my phone, which obviously flips the whole recording. So when you're sitting there and you're wearing a New York Knicks jersey, the words are always going to be backwards. So I was constantly flipping the recording all the time. Sometimes I forgot, sometimes I didn't. And that's where it came in. The P for Puff and the S for Shug, that just came from looking at the picture, basically. At the beginning, I really didn't know what to do. I was sort of, shit, what do I do? I was going to do some animation and stuff just to fill the spot, and then it just sort of dawned on me, shit, I really need to go out and I need to play some basketball. I did wait until like sort of 7:30 the next morning to play. There's no way I was playing during the day, no way. Yeah, that basketball video, it was 1 minute 44, and I sped it up down to 14 seconds. That's why it looks so good. If you put it down to normal speed, you'll see it's just an old geezer just shooting a ball at the ring, really. Yeah, and the circus toss, the trying to break the personal best. Just to let you know, the personal best actually is 13. That's on a ring with no net. If you do get a lot more if the ring has got a net. Obviously, it slows it down as it comes through. So yeah, the personal best is 13. And now we get down to the big bit. Obviously, the reason I went with Uncle Phil is because I was going to flip the picture, and I thought if I flip it, who's going to be on the other side? And the only person I could come up with was Uncle Phil, and basically it was the best thing that ever could have happened, because from that I got Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, and obviously Jada Pinkett and Tupac they went to the same college and stuff, and they knew each other, and obviously there was Will Smith and everything that was going on in the news at the moment. So I just thought this is fucking too good to be true. I've got nothing against Gemma Collins or Jada Pinkett Smith or any of these guys. It was just it all fit together. I think that's the one thing that someone said to me. I said, "What have you got against Gemma Collins?" It's like, well, nothing. She just happened to look like someone that had balanced her face on a Sugar Puffs box for a documentary, so I used her. Again, Jada Pinkett, said it off Jada Pinkett. I said it in the documentary. She was lovely. She's cute. Look at her now. It just worked for the documentary. So just I just thought that basically I can eliminate some of the Sugar Puffs boxes when I flipped them, and there was something on the other side. Really, I didn't want everyone to have a funny picture. Again, that's why it didn't work out that way, but that's the way it worked out in the end. Is that obviously I got 8, and then the last one was for obviously the 10,000, which would have got me even, and that's why I come up with the Gemma Collins. I just thought it was a good way to end it, really. Yeah, it's sort of like, yeah, I could break even, and then obviously Gemma turns up. Which brings us to the password and the Dikembe Mutombo chat at the end. Now, the reason that was in there, basically, I wasn't going to use AI halfway through the documentary. It was supposed to be me being ripped off by 2 Nigerians. They were scamming me out of 10,000, and that's where I got the NFTs from and everything. But I abandoned the whole idea because it made me look like a big buffoon, and the Nigerians brains of Britain, and I'm not having that. So I abandoned that. But that's why I come up with the Dikembe Mutombo. His name is quite long now. It took me bloody ages to learn it as well. Spectacles, testicles, wallet and watch. Again, that was an afterthought. I could have used that at the beginning. I'm a bit miffed that I didn't actually. There was actually loads that I could have used. Again, I didn't really want it to be 2 hours, so I just cut to the best stuff. So obviously the clock at the beginning was to explain the north, south, east, west thing, and then I went with the naughty Emma and that. But yeah, I think the spectacles, testicles, wallet and watch was a good clue. And the last one is in memory of, at the end, Kev Stanton, Colin Humphreys and Pooh, just three friends that have passed away in my lifetime. So I thought I'd give a big up to each of them. And I'm not going to tell you why he's called Pooh either. If you know, you know. That's why it's written. The Suge Knight on the Sugar Puffs box, I'd say, is one of my greatest creations. I love that picture, even though half of his head's missing. Yeah, so the NFT game too, I wanted it to be as tacky as possible. That's why you got the three playing cards and the crappy music over the top. And hopefully it got a laugh.